Welcome to 3 on 3, news show where three friends get together, talk about news from last week. We each bring a topic to the table. My name is Matt.
I'm Marty.
I'm Nick.
And yeah, we are Mediavania. If you're new to the channel, please give a chance to subscribe and click the link below. We'd really appreciate you coming on back if you like what you see. But yeah, we're just a few friends from the board game industry that get together and talk about all things not board games, news, video games, TV, films, all the stuff that we like. And this show, on this specific little video, we like to look back at the last week and kind of see what stories caught our eyes and bring them to you. So the story that I'm bringing is the trailer for Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap is the next game from the Hearthstone team. And yeah, kind of just check out that trailer and talk about that. Marty, what's your topic this week?
The She-Hulk trailer just dropped, so have some discussion on that.
Cool.
Nice. I'm going to be talking about the Take-Two and Zynga merger.
Ooh, more mergers.
More mergers.
Everyone's getting
that's going to come up a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, why don't we kick this off with some She-Hulk, Marty? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? What do we got?
All right. So Disney Plus, the streaming service, just dropped their trailer for, make sure I get the name right, She-Hulk Attorney at Law this past week. And this has been met with a lot of meh. I saw a lot of people that were very bothered by this trailer because the bad CGI, mainly it was the bad CGI. And when I look at the ratio right now on this one, it has 700,000 thumbs up and 328,000 thumb down, which is not the, almost half thumbs down, which is not the best ratio in the world. So just right out of the gate, just what did you guys, for me, I thought, She-Hulk is one of those, could be a fun character. I hope they lean into the comedy. I felt like it was that way. I do see what people are saying about the CGI because some of it was Uncanny Valley, which is the way the face looked and everything. And the biggest running gag was it looks like she skipped leg day. I heard that so many times.
She looked a little lanky. She looked, or not lanky, but she looked long. Like her arms were a little long. But again, that's like, it's hard to tell with early trailers on stuff like this. Or, you know, I kind of come back to like the live action Aladdin. The very first trailer for that I feel was terrible, but I actually did enjoy that movie when it came out. I thought it was done really well, and it looked better in the full thing. So I'm kind of hoping a little bit of that for me, which was just like, maybe it's just the trailer, the full version, you know, they tighten it up a little bit. The CGI didn't bother me too much. I think it looks fun. I don't know. I kind of laughed at the jokes. It's obviously super lighthearted, but I feel like She-Hulk always was, right? Like more of a comedy than anything else. So they're definitely leaning into that. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have too many thoughts outside of that yet. It hasn't really like the Hulk being in it is kind of cool. Like we get to see more Hulk. I'm always down for that. But how much of a part of the show is it? That's obviously going to be her show. So is he just like a cameo in a few episodes or whatnot? What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee for the VFX, right, they're going to be continuing to work on that until the day the show launches. And we've seen that with a lot of the Marvel stuff where some of the trailers look a little iffy, but the end project is fine. But also with Hulk in there, it actually makes her model look worse because that Hulk model and textures and everything, right? That was developed with like Infinity War Endgame budget, right?
Yeah,
and then you just have like this new one that's kind of slapped up there. So it kind of suffers in comparison. I can see why this could be kind of a polarizing show though, because tonally this is going to be very different. This is like She-Hulk was like very meta fourth wall commentary in the comics, like long before Deadpool appeared, right? And they are keeping that tone. So tonally, it's kind of like whiplash from the rest of the MCU. So I think there are going to be a lot of jokes. It's going to be kind of funny. And they also have like, you can already see a lot of weird cameos, right? Like Titania is probably going to be in it. There's a Frogman, like you see him jumping. He's the guy in the green suit.
Yeah, they broke that down. They screenshotted him and like they have the Frogman suit or whatnot.
Tim Roth's back in there for Abomination.
Right, Abomination. Yep. And there's a guy with a construction helmet that she was like wrestling. So that might be.
Yeah, and the Abomination scene was kind of neat just because they. I think what was it, Doctor Strange or one of the movies where Wong was already talking to Abomination and then like kind of jumped out. So there's a little tie in there already where, Abomination's been locked up there for quite some time.
Yeah. It's one of those things I just wonder. A lot of people are like, okay, another trailer. I just wonder if people are getting fatigued with so many Disney shows. I mean, you've got Miss Marvel coming out, which seems to be for a very specific audience. You've got Echo coming out, which I thought was an odd spinoff for Arrow. You've got this one. Agatha Harkness. It's like, as opposed to something with a lot of broad appeal, it seems like it's being very niche. So I just wonder if it's just like, well, people are like, I may check it out, I may not, as opposed to like a must see like Loki.
I think fatigue is 100% already like set in with a lot of people, including myself. I haven't seen Hawkeye yet. I've yet to watch Hawkeye. I've watched 3 episodes of Moon Knight. I have not finished Moon Knight.
Moon Knight started off very strong, but kind of
did it? Well, I
lost momentum as it went.
They're on the list, but they're not on my I must watch today, right? And that's fatigue. That's straight up like I'm just good not watching all this stuff. Like I did go see the new Doctor Strange. I've seen all the Marvel movies, right? Like there's nothing that I've missed there. I have seen Shang-Chi and I loved Shang-Chi and I thought Doctor Strange was good. But I think, fatigue, it's funny. But are we just watching this stuff because now we have to? Like, do we have to watch this stuff to keep up on the story?
I mean,
you had to watch WandaVision.
Yeah,
you had to watch WandaVision to understand Doctor Strange. Is that setting up like us almost handcuffed to these shows? Like we have to watch them to understand what's going on.
And Loki is going to be kind of required viewing because we know that Kang is going to show up, right, for the rest of the next phase. So.
Right. Well, anyway, we'll see. Yeah. I just thought it was really interesting that, right now it was not like a lot of excitement. It was like a lot of reservations. Like, I don't know about that. So, Matt, your story, what you got, man?
Yeah, so mine is just based off, another announcement and trailer, Marvel Snap. This is a new game from Second Dinner. It's actually an independent studio that former directors from Hearthstone are making. Now, I loved Hearthstone. I played it for many, many years. It's currently not on my phone. I did take it off recently, but I still have it on my computer and will load up a match every now and then. I think it's a solid card game. And this is set in the Marvel. Here we are talking about Marvel again. But Marvel card games, I'll definitely give a shot and try. The really interesting thing about Marvel Snap is, and I think the big things that they're saying is that each game is only 3 minutes. So they're really leaning on these super fast games, which I was watching an interview with them, and they were talking about how normally decks of cards will be like 50 card decks, right? And each card you could have up to 3 copies in a deck. Well, they basically just said, well, what if it was just 1 card per, and they brought the deck size down to like 14 cards or like 13 cards. So it's a really low deck size, 3-minute games, and you play simultaneously on the table. I don't know how that works yet. Nick, what was your initial thought on this game?
The time of each game, it kind of gives me a pause. Like, how much strategic depth is there going to be in a 3-minute game, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get that mind duel that you get sometimes when playing Magic, right? Especially when one of the players is playing blue. And even Hearthstone, right? Even though it streamlined a lot of its mechanics, there was still a lot of thinking, knowing the meta, or you're understanding your deck and opponent's deck and how they interact. How much of that are you going to get with a 3-minute game? I have no idea, but I don't feel like it's going to be very much. So putting away my tabletop hat. What about you, Marty?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I didn't realize it till right before we started this recording that it was only 3-minute games. I'm similar. I'm kind of concerned about that. And then I just wonder we'll see if the mechanics are any good, or, hey, look, we got the license. We're going to make money just because we got the Marvel license sort of deal. So we'll see.
Yeah, I like the art style a lot as far as what's like on the cards, and again, sharing that Hearthstone polish. Like Hearthstone's a gorgeous looking game, like in action, playing the cards, the animations that go along with them. It draws you in, very similar to like a Legends of Runeterra that I thought was really great as well. So something similar in the lines of that kind of excites me. And putting in the Marvel universe, letting me customize some decks. I mean, CCGs and card games like this are my favorite genre, so I'm going to try just about everything. It is free to play. I know that bugs Marty, but most of these games are free to play, like as far as like a lot of the card games. That's just like the model that they go. You just download it, but then you just buy packs as you roll. Yeah, that free to play bugs you, right, Marty?
Yeah, it does. It does a little, but and it's because of stuff I used to get into, the little simple games I used to get into, like, I can't remember, ones I used to play on my phone, and it just got annoying after a while. It's like, oh, you're locked. Now you need to buy this, or you need to grind this. And not all of them are like that. And I know with Hearthstone and Magic, you can play and get a lot of cards and not have to spend anything. I don't know. I just rather pay $40 and just give me everything. That's me.
There's a cloud. There's this free to play cloud that's just hanging over your head, and you just can't shake it. See, and I totally understand what you're saying. Like, I get that. I used to play those games, and you'd get locked out of levels or whatever, and pay to continue or whatnot, or pay to win. Like, free to play has that pay to win kind of feel, like where it might be that way. But I don't think it's always the case. I think, like, sometimes the model to just let people download it and try it and then buy what they wish, just kind of like experience how much they would like to. Hearthstone, again, perfect example. Download the game, you can play it and try it, but do you want more cards? Well, you could play a couple matches, or you could just spend $3 and they make a ton of money, right? Free to play definitely works, but
yeah, I mean,
have a stigma.
There's a big divide between just like basic free to play and pay to win, right? But you can argue CCGs are like the original pay to win game, right?
This is true. Yeah.
That's a very good point. And I do have just a sour taste in my mouth over Hearthstone, because from day one I was a huge World of Warcraft TCG player. I bought everything, and my friends played for years. And so when Hearthstone came out, I went, oh, cool, I can play it. They watered down the card game so much, I just never liked it. I thought, man, there are so many things that are missing from the card game that it just never took hold of me.
You know what? The only thing that I miss the most from the TCG was like the dungeon decks, like, buying Blackwing Lair and running that. I always thought those were like really unique and cool to the TCG.
Yeah, the raid decks, yeah.
The raid.
Oh yeah, they were cool. But even the resource was different, because on your turn you didn't have to play a card as a resource. Here in Hearthstone, you automatically always get one. You had the quest cards that were used as resources. So there was just a bunch of little things like that. Attaching equipment to people and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know.
I know.
Again, as a
it's all
card
good.
player fan, yeah. So that was me.
Well, that's. Go on, Marty. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, maybe that's why it tainted me a little bit. Okay, I'll shut up now.
No, it's good. I wanted to get into it a little bit. I know
this is a good segue too into my topic anyway, right?
Yeah, because Nick's about to talk about more free-to-play stuff. So, Nick, what do you got today?
So on Monday, Take-Two and Zynga are going to complete a merger. Take-Two is going to be acquiring Zynga for $12.7 billion. So it's a big deal. I know a lot of hardcore gamers are like, whatever, Zynga, Farmville, Words with Friends. Those are not core gamer demographic games, but these are big billion-dollar industries. The free-to-play games are big money, and as Blizzard learned, everybody has a phone. So we're going to find out what Take-Two's going to do with that, right?
I'm surprised it's not Zynga buying Take-Two.
Take-Two is big, though. They actually own a lot of companies. Like, they own, like, Rockstar's their big one, right?
That's it. It's interesting, and they might not do much with it, right? Like, they might just acquire it, let them continue to, and then just generate that profit. Like, I'm not sure if they're planning on, folding stuff in, but now they have all the Take-Two licenses that they can use in their games and create stuff like that.
We might see GTA, the mobile game, right?
Free to play GTA.
Exactly.
All the free to plays that you can.
Marty's just shaking his head. What do you think about this, Marty?
It's one of those things I didn't even know. It's like, what story are we talking about? It's like, I didn't even know that was something that was going to be happening. It's fine. You're right. I mean, Take-Two will probably take some of their properties and go, all right, now we can get on mobile devices where there's millions of them out there. So it's a good purchase for them. I get it.
Yeah. And they have some good, like, not just GTA is the big one, but like BioShock. They have the 2K games as well. So there's a lot of stuff under the Take-Two umbrella.
Yeah. I was going to say something. I lost my train of thought on the Take-Two thing. Oh, I don't think we're done seeing mergers either. There was just word I think it was today or yesterday of EA possibly seeking out some type of merger somewhere.
Oh, really?
And so we could see another giant, news article coming soon. It's just like all these companies are kind of folding in together, working together.
Yeah, we're 100% living in cyberpunk dystopia, right? Where all the big businesses just merge into the megacorps. But I think we're going to see more and more of it.
Yeah, the Zynga thing, as far as for me, I think it's fine. I don't mind I like playing games on my phone. I don't have a ton of them on there right now, but I'm constantly downloading stuff. I didn't download Apex Legends mobile. I know that just came out. However, I do enjoy certain games on mobile. I have Final Fantasy Tactics mobile on there. I think is awesome, and stuff like Legends of Runeterra and Hearthstone and stuff. Just I'm constantly find myself just like grabbing my phone as my portable device to play, just because without any the Switch is kind of still docked. I'll go grab the Switch. Sometimes it's nice just to be on because I'm already on my phone, maybe doing emails and stuff. And then when I'm all done, jump into the App Store, see what's new, download a couple games, just try them out. And the quality's been pretty, is getting better and better. So I wonder how Apex plays. I don't know. Nick, you haven't tried that, have you?
I haven't.
No. We'll see.
It's funny, like talking about mergers last week, one of our stories was Embracer picking up, what was the name of the, I can't remember the name of the studios, but they got
they spun off like Crystal
Tomb
Dynamics
Raider and stuff.
Square, yeah.
So, this week announced that they're going to be taking those a lot of those IPs and really laying into them and doing a lot with them. And for those who don't know, Embracer just bought Asmodee, which is a big board game company. So it made me think immediately, they're going to take some of those and they're going to probably make some card games and board games using some of those IPs, which makes sense.
Yeah, Tomb Raider the board game. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's it. Those are our 3 news stories. And then what we'll do is we'll wrap it up too with just kind of like what we've been playing. Marty, what was the name of this segment? What was our?
We had 3 and Out.
3 and Out. Welcome to 3 and Out. This is where we go around and what we've been playing this week, what we've been doing, any new games, movies, TV that we've been watching. We take a minute just to go through this. I'll start. I platinum Elden Ring. I put it away. I started Resident Evil Village because that's been on my backlog ever since.
It's really good.
So I'm now playing different games. It's really weird. I don't know what to do with my hands. But yeah, like I was very happy to put Elden Ring aside for now. I feel like I've done enough in that game right now, even though it's still fantastic. Watching wise, I just watched the new Chip and Dale movie, which was a lot of fun. Some really great cameos. My son loved it. So, and that's on Disney Plus streaming now as of today. Friday it launched. So check out that. How about you, Nick? What are you playing or watching?
I also put away Elden Ring pretty recently, so finally managed. I almost had to uninstall it though. Like it was just so hard to put away. I picked up the early access V Rising. It's from Stunlock Studios, who did Battle Right. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah, there's a lot of base building, which I'm a sucker for, but also it's an isometric ARPG, right? Like Diablo and Torchlight, those kind of games. But it's got an actual modern control scheme, like a WASD movement with skill shots. So you can actually have like these really cool fights and boss battles. Like the base building is like all right, but the combat is really special in that game because of it feels like Battle Right, which was a fun game.
Yeah, that's cool. How about you, Marty?
So I still haven't finished 13 Sentinel, so I'm still playing that. But I did just, my wife and I just finished watching Silent Sea on Netflix, which is a Korean sci-fi show. It's pretty good. It stars one of the main actors from Squid Game. And if you're looking for a sci-fi type show, check it out. It's one of those things when we're done, it's like, well, I'm glad we watched it, but it's not one of those things that really blew us away. But it was entertaining. It was a little different. The premise of Silent Sea is really interesting. The whole premise is not giving away anything. The Earth is out of water, and it kind of goes from there. And it's really interesting in some of the ideas they come up with. What happens if the Earth is out of water, sort of deal. So
that sounds pretty cool. Nick and I are watching an anime right now called Decadence.
I just finished it.
And Nick, I haven't yet. It's pretty short, 13 episodes on 12 episodes, and it's on Funimation. It was on Hulu. It's on a couple different platforms.
Oh yeah, Hulu. Yeah,
it is on Hulu. And it kind of like presents itself one way. If you go watch a trailer for it, it's really cool. But man, it has one of the biggest twists I've ever seen in anything ever. And it's just like it changes completely by episode 2. It's so wild. So if you want something that's kind of neat, anime wise, and to really kind of give it a shot. It's only 12 episodes long, and both Nick and I are enjoying it. Nick, now you finished it. Can you give me a non-spoiler, quick 2-second review?
I like the idea of it better than the execution of it, but I enjoyed it.
Well, there you go. All right.
Vampires in the Garden just came out today on Netflix. I'm kind of interested in it.
Okay. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's good. Watch the trailer for it. Vampires in the Garden. So it's a world that's ran by vampires and has something to do. It's got vampires. I like vampires. So
what are we going to see in the theaters next? What's next in the theaters for us?
Next week I'll be seeing Top Gun Maverick or
Top Gun. I would go see Top. That's a movie theater movie too.
Yeah, that is definitely a movie theater movie. IMAX.
Yeah.
I've already got tickets.
Oh, great. Well, cool. I don't know what I'm going to see. I don't even know. I think probably Top Gun as well. But we'll see. All right. Well, that's it. That is our new show for the week. Thanks for jumping in. If you made it this far, please again like, subscribe, stick with us, and we'll be back next week with some more news. Thanks, everyone.